You know, those moments when everything kind of just slows down? We spend so much of our time just rushing around, just being busy, just doing stuff. I came out here today to do the opposite, to slow down and to make coffee the traditional Norwegian way, and I'll explain why in a moment. We'll talk about Hygge. It's Scandinavian word Hygge. So for any Scandinavian folk out there, I do apologize about my mispronunciation. I think it's Hygge with an emphasis on the double G. Anyway, so we'll talk about Hygge, what it means, and how I was introduced to that word and why it's relevant to what I'm doing today. And maybe you'll get to experience a bit of that huggy yourself, that feeling of contentment, of warmth, of just feeling that you belong. The reason why I'm out here and the reason why I'm cooking or making coffee the Norwegian way is it was a comment on my earlier video where I actually reviewed the Trangia Mini. So I bought this for £19 off of eBay. Absolute bargain. It's in great condition. Give it a bit of a clean up since I bought it. But anyway, I was reviewing this and I made a coffee. And there's a guy, if I remember, Edward Langyard, I believe his name is. I'll put his name in the text below in the description. So he made a comment on the video asking why, when he watches videos from the UK, we all tend to use coffee sachets or instant coffee, and just how it was opposite to the whole process that the guys have out in Norway, Denmark, etc., and Sweden. So it just got me thinking, the whole process of coming out here is to calm down and relax, to switch off, to be relaxed. Yet what I see, and I'm guilty of this myself, is I come out here and I do things to be relaxed, yet at the same time then I rush certain elements, and I'm not in the moment. So that was really kind of my motivation to come out here and to make coffee that way, and just to slow the process down. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So this is the little Trangia Mini set that I bought, and I think it is. I kind of like it. I do like it. So I'll just get this set up, and then I'll bring you back in a moment. So I'm just waiting for the water to start to dance, just before it starts that boil, just where it begins to just dance around. Just waiting for that moment to start, and then we'll add the ground coffee to it. One of my many observations in life is just how busy people are. Oops, I think we are at a boil, folks. Yeah, look at that. Class. Oops. So, I believe what we do is we take this off the boil. Don't think we need any more heat. And we just add a spoonful of ground coarse coffee. Now, if I'm doing this horrendously wrong, I'm welcome to get some feedback here. Basically, you add a heaped teaspoon per serving, I believe, of ground coffee. To the water. and then just let it be. So you let it sit for a number of minutes, just so that the coarse coffee, the coffee beans, or the coffee granules, sink to the bottom, and then you can pour it into a cup. It smells pretty amazing. I'm going to put a bit of heat back into it, just on a simmer. So I'm just going to let that do its thing for 3, 4, 5 minutes or so, and I'll come back to you when that is done. I'm just going to enjoy a bit of peace. So I'm not sure if you can see in there, but all the coffee granules have now sunk to the bottom, and that's just being kept just on a really, really gentle simmer. So try and pour this into my cup. Try and keep these coffee beans separate. Love it, love it. So the aroma of that. So I don't know if you can see there all the coffee beans. Oops. All the coffee beans have been attacked everywhere here. Wind's not playing ball. All the coffee beans in the bottom of the pan there. There we go, look at that. Yes, I'm impressed. And I think the emphasis of what Edward was saying to me, it's about contentment out here. Instead of rushing, just slowing down, just enjoying that moment and having that coffee in calm rather than haste. That's been awesome. Yeah, that's very nice. Edward, thank you very much for your advice or your question. Maybe put me on a nice way of thinking. There you go. The windshield's giving him the ghost. That is quite amazing. I'm trying to understand what it is. I think it's maybe the fact that because I've given the coffee time and the water and the coffee time to do their thing, whilst I've just been able to do my thing, that the flavors in the coffee, it's richer, it's more enhanced. I mean, imagine putting 2 spoonfuls of coffee in there, and you'd be in the morning, you'd be bouncing. It'd be pretty class-like. So my reflection here is, when this is far from perfect, it is not perfect. Obviously, it's a bit windy, and I am 25-30 meters away from a car park. Okay, we're in the woods. But it's a car park that people use to go and spend their time in the woods. So it's far from perfect. But that hasn't mattered. I have still been able to find real peace, comfort here, even though it's far from perfect. I have managed to find contentment. Whilst making a coffee in a place where I would normally never come to, because I would just deem it just to be too busy, and how could I relax and switch off, and what would people say, do, because there are lots of people here. It doesn't matter, I have been able to properly find peace here, and that's important. And that's why it's important for you guys to get out, to find your peace. And it hasn't got to be perfect. It can be far from perfect. It doesn't matter. It's coming out with the willful intent of finding calm. Making this coffee will be even better if you're in a tent setup, something you made yourself, like a stealth camp. I've got a complete guide on how to do that, how to set up your stealth camp. So if you just look up there, I will link that video so you can check that out, how to set up a stealth camp just using a 3x3 tarp. And with that, folks, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this coffee, and I'll see you guys on the next video. See you later.